For the most part, nobody just storms out and nobody just blows up. Sometimes you just stop answering texts. You tell yourself you're fine, you're just busy. I know Luke's mentioned it and done it, and I've said it before too, where you're just going to go dark for a bit. You don't want any contact. Um, so here, Luke, we're going to run right to you. Before that 0 to 100, I know we've talked about that a few times now, and the blow up. Have you ever felt something creeping back in before that that's kind of giving you a heads up that it's going to start? Or is it just instant?
Yes, and I do realize it, and I do know it's coming because, I can feel it coming. It's I can start to feel the buildup, and then what I start to do is compound past things. So say me and you are arguing about, um Afghanistan. Me and you are both in Afghanistan. We're arguing about Canada, arguing about Canada or Afghanistan. We're going back and forth, going back and forth. Well, I'm going to play out how I'm going to beat you to the end. I'm going to play this all out to the end, and it's something I recognize. I see it, but it's also as a trained person, I'm taught to defend myself right to the end. So I will it's like my body plans to do these things and sabotage myself going through to do these things, but yeah,
Hmm.
no, I do recognize it, and I do see it, and I almost use it as something as a crutch when I wanna go, against somebody or use it for some sort of thing, but yeah, I do recognize it 100%. I do.
So, so how do you recognize? Like, what is it that's like the telltale? What's happening? Like, what are you
It's for me,
feeling
once
physically or
confrontation
emotionally?
starts, once I get my back up against the wall and I realize I have to react a certain way. I'm sure everybody in this chat has actually seen me um, go from 0 to 100. Um,
Hmm.
and it's something I do recognize I'm doing it. Right now, it's a defense mechanism that I'm trying to stop myself from doing. And I am getting better. Like, don't say that don't let me make it confuse you that I'm not getting better. Yes, things are getting better, but there's times when I just lose complete control. And
Hmm.
it goes from there's nothing. You guys seen it in Detroit,
Yep.
and if anybody is watching this video, my dad and Shawn were in Detroit when they seen what it means when the difference between 0 and the difference between 100.
Yep.
They understand how it can happen. This happy-go-lucky person can go from 0 to 100, and I understand that. Um, so I want to be better in it. Like if I'm going to compare myself to what I did in Detroit to what I've done my last incident, I'm getting better.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah. No,
recognizing it.
for sure.
I'm starting to understand it. But it's not easy. It's not easy. If you're out there
So
and you think there's a cure, there isn't. There's something you just have to recognize and understand it and catch it before it happens is for sure.
so that's the part I want to dig at more is the we understand the 100, been there,
Yep.
and have seen it. So the 100 is one thing. What I'm hoping to kind of get a better understanding is like before the 100,
Yep.
well before the person gets confrontational with you and all of a sudden your back's against the wall, your back's up. It's like, okay, now I'm ready to fight you, but what's going on before that? Like, is there something that's giving you a hint that it might be coming up, regardless of the scenario or situation you're in?
Yes, that early warning sign, which I have maybe 50% of the time I catch, but
Hmm.
50% of the time I don't catch, is I start planning how I'm going to attack you, how
Is
I'm
that
going to go
before the
after you.
conversation?
Yeah, like so if I start to hear people talk, and
Yep.
I get to a point where I think, how do I going to defend this? How am I going to defend myself? How am I going to fight? How do I have to do everything in my power to
Hmm.
subdue this conversation? If it has
Hmm.
to be for screaming, yelling, angering, whatever I have to do, whatever I have to do to shut this down, I've already pre-planned that in my head. It's like
Okay.
a lot of things I was even talking about, like where like sometimes I'll be with Tanya and we're driving and I just freak out and I pull over the side of the road. She's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I just had 10 scenarios in my head at the same time, screaming and yelling, and I just couldn't hear them all at the same time." She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Just that's my brain." But
Yep.
my brain never stops working, which
Yep.
is good, but it's also a hindrance when it comes to everyday life. When I'm always thinking about the craziest things on how Well, we even talked about with like with PTSD, when you walk into Walmart, you should be saying, okay, I have to get this, this, and this, not okay. Okay, I'm coming in here. There's my exit. There's my exit. I got to go through him. If I have to go through him, I'm going to go through him. If I have to go through, like, that's how you shouldn't walk into a situation. You should
Hmm.
say, okay, I have to go get this, not how do I defend myself? How do I get out of this thing?
Hmm.
And the fight is real,
Yep.
but um, but yeah, like it's I don't know if it stops or if it's something, but it's something I always do, and it's not something I've always done, which would
Yep.
be a lie, but it's something I have done, and it's my everyday. Every day when I approach any type of situation, that's what I'm thinking in my head is
So,
is survival.
okay. So then the step before that. So I get the same feelings when I go into restaurants, stores, different places. There's a lot of it's that training, right? You learn to assess a scene, and the exits are one thing, threat levels are another, checking hands and positions and what's fastest to run or go through. Um, but before you go into you're going to Walmart today. You wake up, it's 6:30 in the morning, you're going to do your work, you're going to do all this stuff. You know you're going to Walmart. Are you thinking those things now because Walmart's in 4 to 6 hours away, or do you get to Walmart and then that switches on?
Um, yeah, it switches on right when I get there.
Okay.
And I think the reason for that is the training that's involved when you are to react on the incident. If I think you know what I mean, Sean.
Hmm.
It's not like okay, just always react, always react. It's like bang, react. So then you're trained to react on that situation. So a lot of times when I go to do something, it doesn't hit me till the last minute, and then it's like
Yeah.
that survival or animal instinct, it kicks in, and
Hmm.
it's hard to fight through for sure. But it's something I have done. Like as stupid as it sounds, and I know everybody, especially this time of year, lifetime, where we are in the world. But I bought a MAGA hat, this "Make America Great Again" hat, and during COVID, I used to wear it to the grocery store so people would stay away from me. It was my
Oh,
way of keeping people because I'm telling you right now, people would lean over your shoulder, look at eggs. I'm like, want to elbow you in the face. But I'm telling you, if I wear my visionpoems.com hat, they're not doing that. But if I wear a MAGA hat, they look at me like I'm the scum, some kind of bacteria on Earth or whatever. But they stay away from you. So that was my deterrent for humans. It was
okay.
crazy and how you
Yeah.
react. But like again, like when you're going, do you pre-plan? Yes. I always
Yeah.
do. Everything I do, I pre-plan. Everything I
Yeah.
do, there is calculated. Every decision I make or anything I go or anybody asks me a question, whatever I do and however I do it, it's all calculated because you can't just go off a whim anymore. You can't. For me, I can't. I am not like that no more. And to be successful, I have to just keep everything calculated.
Gotcha. Dish.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts when you hear that?
Well, I had questions. So, like, for example, like you're talking about if people want to like are starting an argument with you, like, have you ever just like, are you able to ever walk away, or do you just sit and argue?
I'll sit and argue to the point where I hurt somebody, to the point where they don't think they can ever argue with me again. Because again, and I'm not going to keep leaning on the fact that this is the way I was trained or whatever, but we are reprogrammed in a certain way to not lose. And if you make someone brings up something where they want to start an argument and I push it to the point where this is what I feel and I make it so uncomfortable they can't talk to me or ask that question again, I will do that just to so that doesn't happen again, which
Right.
is wrong because everybody's entitled to their opinion. But I shouldn't have to scare someone away because they have an
Yeah.
opinion.
Would you
But
ever
it,
like have you ever challenged yourself back to say like that you could potentially reprogram your brain to be more responsive versus reactive?
I've actually tried my best, and it kills me inside because I want to put my 2 cents in. But if I put my 2 cents in, I'll just get out of control.
Right.
I remember
Mm.
my dad, my dad was sitting there. One time we were talking about, I don't know, the guy was putting. We were talking about some rule in golf. And then it turned into this, morphed in this crazy screaming match. Me about him, about the Prime Minister of Canada. And he said, Jesus, go to your mother's. That's what it's like, because it was like, "What are you doing, Luke? Like, what are you doing?" You were talking about golf, and you had to just put it to an extreme level, and your father wasn't gonna back down to the point you had to push it so far that he threw you out of his house to go to your mother's. Come
So what do
on.
you do if you're looping with somebody and they challenge you?
I am a complete politician on the course. People have
Respect,
said
man.
things that I have agreed with, and people
Yeah.
have said things that I don't agree with, but I still do not. I remain the constant professional. On the course, I always say, like, when I step on that first tee, I'm a certain person. When I step off that 18th green, I go back to who I was.
Right.
Um,
But it's interesting that you can control it in those moments.
I know I can
Mhm.
control it in the moments, and the same thing, like, I was remembering, like, when I was at Domino's Pizza, like, it was just crazy, and if I'm lying, may God strike me down, but Connor and Haley Roderick can say, they said, "You're a lunatic. You're an absolute lunatic. You're up back throwing dishes at people, screaming and yelling, wanting to kill people, screaming like a maniac, and then stop, dry your hands off. Thank you for choosing Domino's," says Luke speaking. "How may I help you?" Like, they go, "The how? How?" I go, "I don't know." I think it may be the trained professional, the military instilled in you that you always have to be that professional. You always have to be that certain type of person. But I don't know how I can do it. And I wish I knew. I wish I knew how to switch it. But if
Yeah.
it came down to, here, Luke, my dad says, "Hey, and meet my friend Bruno and his wife Mary." "Hi, Bruno. Nice to meet you, Mary. Pleasure to meet you. This is wonderful." You know what I mean? Not, "Hey, what the fuck's going on?" Because I know how to separate that, and thank God I still do. But there's times when maybe when I get comfortable or I'm around people, and I'm just tired of saying, "Yes, this is good. I'm done." Like, and I just want to put my point across. But there's
Yep.
times when I do realize, and I can stop myself when I don't. I don't. I know this. If I'm going to put my 2 cents in, it's not going to help nobody. It's not going to help my
Yeah.
job. It's not going to help the people that hired me. So that's how
I
I
wonder.
that's how I do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hopefully, I can keep doing that way, but, things work out alright. I seem to be pretty liked up there, so,
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
I'm wondering, Luke, if it's a how can I put it? A comfort thing. Like when I was first off, everything was switched on. And
Yep.
then I found that if I was with people I knew that could handle themselves, my condition red went to like condition yellow. And then eventually time went on and I realized it's not all that bad and I don't have to be super protective man for my family. So it kept easing down. But if I go to a place where there's complete strangerville, now I'm back to more switched on. I'm wondering maybe that's it. But I'm going to change directions really fast
Yeah.
Yeah.
because there's times you've thrown out the text going dark, bang, no one reaches you for whether it's a day or 3 days or whatever it is, and then you resurface. So do you mind chatting about that?
For me?
Is that, yeah, what's that for you? Is that taking a break from everything that's going on, or is there something big going on, or you
So
just,
for me, a lot of the times it's very overwhelming. Like, I remember calling dad there, and, I got must have been 10 emails, comments, and things of all these people thanking me for saving their life, doing everything I can. "I can't believe you're a motivation. You're all these things." And I'm sitting there and I'm as proud as a fucking peacock and I'm so happy. But me, as stupid as I am, in my head, I said, "Okay, so for the last 3.5 years, look at the like I'm looking at the list. There's a list of people, these lives that have been saved, these people that have been saved." And I said, "And you wasted your first 41 years, you piece of shit." That's what I said in the mirror. "You wasted your first 41 years." And
you told me that too?
it took my dad and it took my mom to tell me, if you didn't go through what you would have done, you wouldn't be what you're doing today. So stop it and be better. But when I go dark, it's my mind that's shutting me down, thinking I'm not as good as what I am. It's not. I'm a piece of garbage. Um, I go back to thinking, like, you know what I mean, like, just suck back. Like, when you send off, like, in our group chat, I'll send off a message, nothing. Oh, people are pissed at me. Then I'll shut down. I'll shut down. It's my mind that gets in the way with that, and it's my mind that tells me I have to reset, I have to redo things. But
Mhm.
still even trying to figure out Like, even out there this last week, trying to realize that I have to have 2 different lifestyles. I have to have a 7-month lifestyle and a 5-month lifestyle. And the 5-month lifestyle is when I'm caddying. The 7th month is when I'm not. So it's not like I can't do a complete lifestyle change. I have to do a complete, um, it's the life change, but the life is 2 or 3 different phases. So I have to. It's not like it's very challenging what I'm doing and how I'm trying to figure this out. Um,
Hmm.
So, but it's, but I'm going along, I'm figuring it out. I have so much support, it's unbelievable. But it's hard. And I think the
Yeah.
safest place for me to be when my mind goes out of control and it's in a tornado tailspin is to go dark. I go dark until I figure it out because I don't need to be getting on family group chats telling people about how hard of a time I'm having it, to ruin their day when I know I can get through it. I know I can get through it. I know I can power through this. I know I can get this. So I'll just bounce back whenever I have to. But at the end of the day, when I go dark, it's there. There's a reason for it. 100%.
All right. Fair. Dad, I'm going to pull you in. So if you hear Luke's going dark and now you're hearing the thought process behind kind of the why, what are your thoughts? Is that Luke just disappearing, or is that him handling it? Is it a
Well,
mix of
I
something?
think
Or
that
something else?
I think that when he goes dark, he doesn't want to get online or on the phone and say something that'll hurt somebody. The last thing Luke wants to do is to hurt somebody. So I think that's why he goes dark and he doesn't say nothing because he's got fear in him, and sometimes people say things that they really don't mean, but it just comes out. I don't know if you guys are like that, but I know I've said things where up to today, it's been years since I said it. I wish I would have never said it. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
just say things where you're so pissed off and you just like personally myself, like, and I think that's why Luke goes dark is you just can't control that temper and you just lose it. And you say shit that you shouldn't say. And
Yep.
Yeah.
I know I've I've kind of settled down over that. I know I get mad pretty quick sometimes if somebody challenges me. I might get a little upset,
Hmm.
but not like I used to.
Yeah.
I kind of am more
Okay.
laid back now than I ever have been. So I'm happy for that. But I can
Yeah.
understand why he goes dark.
Yeah.
I don't
Dish,
know
what are your
about
two
what
cents on
I
that?
don't know about you, Dish. If you get pissed off like that, but
Yeah, I mean, I got a little bit of Sierra and a little bit of Christy in me, so you
Capital.
know. But you know what? Like I think I don't I'm usually pretty good at being more responsive than reactive. So I'm pretty good usually at like not responding right away and just giving myself the time and the space. What I'm not great at, like you say, Luke, when you go dark, you need time to yourself to like, you know, so like at our house, when like kind of goes dark, that makes me more hyper vigilant. So it makes
Yeah.
me want to like check in, but like, so it's taken me some time to not be like suffocating to her. So I think
Mhm.
I don't like get upset with people very quickly, but I think I get more like if somebody's struggling, I become like annoying because I just want to make sure that they're okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's more my struggle than like getting like them being reactive to people. It's more that I like try to overprotect and become like too suffocating, I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the
For
but
myself.
the mother rule, right? Like it's
Yeah.
and I don't blame you. I don't have that. I don't have that gene in me. I have the take care of Luke type of thing. But where I want to help whole bunch of people and then where I start running into obstacles, like I'm trying to do a lot of stuff here on the island and I'm meeting a lot of pushback and I'm like, seriously, I'm trying to do free stuff to help you people and if you don't want to help, don't want to help. But also when I walk away, I'm thinking, yeah, well, the hell with you. But no, I don't want to say the hell with you. I want to help people. Like, why won't you let me help you? And the frustration builds up and I get overwhelmed and I the screaming and yelling and the freaking out. It's just I wish I could control it, but like My dad said, "Shit, you might want to mix PTSD with Sears." Damn it! Come on.
So, Uncle Mike, you say you kind of chilled out a little bit more lately. We kind of chuckle because a friend of ours a few years ago, he said, I have a new motto in life. And he's like, no matter what's going on, he's like, I act surprised, I look concerned, and then I do nothing. He's
Yeah,
like,
well,
that's the way I
you know
interact with
what?
people.
That's the best way to be, really, if
Yeah.
you think about it.
Yeah.
You just the hell with it.
Yeah.
Like that's how I am now. I don't want to argue. I don't want to scream and yell because like I'm tired of it. Like I've been doing it all my life. I worked at the steel plant, and you had to argue and fight all the time in there.
Yeah.
Like it was, like you always thought you were right, and they always thought you weren't right all the time. So and
Yeah.
then it just turned into a shit show. And I just want to like I'm happy today. Like I'm just happy today. I'm just the
I love it.
happiest I've been in my life is has
Awesome.
been in the last few years. I just, you know, I see I see how well Luke's doing. I see Shawn's progressing very well. I see Josh is well, poor Josh. He's got the two daughters there. He's gonna be 13. He's in trouble now, but you know,
He's got
but
a son
he's
named Luke
he's
Sear.
doing
He's in trouble.
yeah.
Poor bastard.
But
I
no,
pray for
like
you, Josh. I pray for
I'm
you every
happy.
day.
I'm pretty happy.
Yeah,
My
that's
grandkids,
good.
they're all healthy, and that's all that counts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when your
Well,
family's healthy.
I got some letter from Veterans Affairs that says there's money for me and family members to go to school, and I started crying because I was just so happy that maybe I can help out Nevaeh, Hope, Lily, Sloan, and Lucas in their school. You know what I mean? Like I was like, because the whole money part's because the injuries I got that they're finally admitting to. So it's money that's for me, but I can help these guys go to school. I was bawling my eyes. I'm like, you're old. Look at the mirror. Look at the mirror. You're old. What are you crying about this for? I'm helping people. But it's just how it is. It's just how I guess time goes on. We get older and stuff. But Jesus,
Yeah.
I'm just so happy I can help out those kids. I hope the vac comes through on it.
You never know.
What about you, Shawn?
What about me?
Yeah, you're doing a
Throw it
little
at me.
question asking and not answering tonight.
I know that's the theme tonight. It's just if I go right back, I might go right back at Luke and be like, so you know what it is that's going to get you to disappear
Yeah.
and go dark and stay quiet. If you know that there's people out here that do want to help you out, whether it's a family member, a friend, uh, therapy person, or whatever it is, do you still want to go dark, or would you rather reach out? What would you rather do? Go dark or reach out?
I think it's more the way I think I figured it out now. Like as fucked up as this sounds, and it's just going to sound fucked up to you. I will reach out in pieces. So I will slowly maybe throw something out to the group chat, look for a laugh, or I will call mom and talk to her for 17 hours on the phone, or I'll call dad and pick on him and make fun of him and then just have that banter back and forth because we always get to do that kind of thing. Or I'll lean on other people, or I'll just show up at Jake's office and I sit there, I'm hugging him and I'm hugging the new pro, Drew, Stone. I was like, just to change things up. But I'm not, when I want a day, I'm going to take a day. When I want to go dark, I'm going to go dark because I'm going to need that. I don't need, in my head, I think making it through this process. Yes, I'll never go back to the point where I was on October 30th, 2021. I'll never get that dark. But there's times when you do need that comfort. You do need that peace and quiet, and you shouldn't feel bad about it. With anything you do, like even this
Nope.
healthy body, healthy mind challenge that we're talking about. I was talking to dad and me and my buddy Kreger, we're meeting up for the first time since October. And we were at Witt's Pub and he was talking to Kreger. He's like, "Are you drinking?" I said, "Yeah, I'm having beers with Kreger. Of course I'm having beers with Kreger because um me and Kreger were gonna have a couple beer. We had 4 beer to get. Oh, he had 2. He had 2 large draft, but I had 4 bottles. And then we just laughed and joked and laughed and joked. And my logic behind that is if I didn't want to drink or I refused to drink, so I'm going to refuse to see my buddy Craig. So I wouldn't have had that moment with Craig. I would not have had that moment where me and him would have went off and we would have had that great time laughing and joking, blah, blah. Even if I was drinking a beer or drinking water, it wouldn't have mattered. But as long as like if you're doing something that's not crazy or out of control and you're still trying to do these different things where you're interacting with people, yes, you have to kind of go out of your shell or maybe go out of that little healthy idea that you have in your head to just try and enjoy yourself. So when it comes to sucking back and kind of doing going in the dark or any of that type of thing, yeah, but when it comes to going out and doing type of things, it's you're still gonna enjoy yourself. You're still gonna enjoy your life. You gotta enjoy every moment of life. Otherwise, you're gonna stay in that thing.
Yeah. Luke, what do
Yeah.
you like when you go dark? Sorry, you might be asking this question next, but
Yeah.
like what are some things that you do or some strategies that you can use to like help yourself? Like what do you do? Like how do you take care of yourself?
When I first go dark, I start writing. I start writing like you wouldn't believe. I'll write poetry. I'll do whatever I can, but it's more of me just saying, okay, I just need 20 seconds to myself. I just need another hour. I just need another hour, and it's just like just trying to get away from everything and not being Luke Sear, not being the CEO of Luke Sear Foundation, not being the person who's trying to save everybody, not being the person who has to send the meme to the family, not being all these different things. It's just taking care of yourself, sucking back, resetting. Because there's times when when I get, and the problem is I get too out of control. So my life runs like my mind. It's like I got 30 things on the go. Oh, I can't do all 30. I can only do 10. How am I gonna deal with these 20? Okay, I'm gonna suck back. I'm gonna figure out a plan. Okay, dealt with the 20. Now I deal with the 10. And that's how I have to do things. And it's so hard to say, okay, well, how are you gonna fix this? I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can fix it, but if I can learn to live with this, it's not a handicap. It's not a handicap. It's like learn to live with what life has dealt me and life has given me. Sure, I have to find a way to work in between that. But yeah, it's extremely like kind of difficult to try and figure it out. But I just kind of go about the way I do things to try and I don't know, just to try and get I I I don't know, I just know how to do it, how to go about it. You know what I mean? Like it's not
Yeah,
conventional, but it's just the way I go about doing things.
it works for you.
Yeah.
As long as it works.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
Yep.
50% of the times works every time. I
You've
don't
gone
know.
50% of
This
every
thing,
day so far.
if I stood here and lied to everybody in the world and said I was perfect, shit, someone would walk up and spit in my face tomorrow morning. You liar! Come on, Dad. I know it was a joke, but no, it's true. Like it's like I but I'm trying. And the way I like when I get up and I look at myself in the mirror and I'm doing all these things and I sometimes I get overwhelmed but you know what? On October 30th, 2020, I had one goal and I had one mission and that was to take myself out. Now I have about 50 goals and 50 missions. But you know what? I'm helping everybody. I'm contributing to the society. I'm doing things. I'm living. So you know what? Well, whatever the hell I got on the go here is better than what I had on October 30th of 2021. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah.
Look, do you find that like when you go dark, like before you used to go dark and you used to go dark for a long time.
Yeah.
Now it's getting shorter. Do you find that like it's getting
Yeah.
shorter? Your period of being in
Yeah,
the
like
dark?
when you guys say dark and I know you guys remember the times when I'd be gone for a month, I'd be gone for 2 months.
Mhm.
I'd say things to you that I wish I could take back, but I can't. And it's fine. But now it's more of a when I go dark, it's for me to go, reset, figure things out, and then just make sure everything else is running smooth because I feel like things are going out of control. So for more now, when I go dark, it's not to hide from you; it's more to reset my life. So I guess that's progress in my eyes. I think right.
It's
It's not me trying
progress.
to find somewhere to go
Yeah.
hide to kill myself. It's me trying to better myself. So we'll see
Yeah.
where I go from here. But I think progress is
Yeah.
the key here. That's for sure.
That's a
Yeah.
pretty big
So you're
shift.
dark.
Yeah, your dark now is more of a break and a recharge,
Yeah.
Yeah.
reset.
Reset. Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Let me fire off 2 questions. This is to end the recording. I'll stop the recording. Then if there's any other questions, like Dish was going to ask me some, but
Yeah.
today's focus is for old Lukey. So if anyone out is listening right now and you have a tendency to keep just saying, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, what's really going on inside if that's not the truth? And then sort of dwell on that for a bit, and maybe that'll be something you can bring to light and work on. And then the other one is, what's the first sign that you're disappearing? Like if you know what the signs are to cause you to actually go and disappear, not take a break to reset, but to like completely shut off and shut off all connections with people.
Mhm.
You know, why is it still easier to go quiet? So even when Luke, you're going dark, you're actually going to just kind of take care of yourself and recharge. It's completely different now, which is good. So the phrase is there, but the meaning's kind of changed, which is
Yeah.
really cool. But listen, I want to thank everybody for participating. I want to thank everybody for listening. I'm going to hit the stop button. Don't leave until the recording's done. If you want to stay on and chat, we can certainly stay on and chat.
100%.
Thanks, guys.